Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Come Grow Spiritually with me. This is my tarot series of that branch. This is my tarot branch of my Come Grow Spiritually series. That's how I want to put it. All right, so today we are going to talk about the other half of the deck. So I did do a video, I'll post the link in the descriptions, about the Major Arcana, because again, the tarot deck is 78 cards, and they're broken into two different categories. So the Major Arcana, which is the 22 cards, and I did a video talking about those cards and what they represent. And today we're going to talk about the rest of the deck, the other 56 cards, which are referred to as the Minor Arcana. And these cards reflect our day-to-day experiences. These cards talk about bringing the energy of the divine down into our everyday lives, showing us how spiritual lessons and the Major Arcana play out through our thoughts, emotions, actions, and material world. So let's get into it. Okay, so the Minor Arcana are broken off into 4 different suits, and each suit represents a different element, a different life theme, and a different aspect of the human experience. So we're going to break those down right now. So beginning with the suit of Wands. Wands represents fire, and its life theme is about action, passion, creativity, inspiration, and willpower. And the human aspect they represent is spirit and energy that fuels our ambition and desires. So the Wands represent how we pursue our goals, express creativity, and follow our sense of purpose. They speak to our inner drive and how we take inspired action to manifest our goals. Cups is the second suit of the tarot deck, and its element is water. And its life theme is about emotions, love, relationships, intuition, and healing. And its aspects of the human experience that it represents is heart and emotional self. So cups connect us to our feelings, empathy, and intuition. They explore how we relate to others, how we love, and how we flow through emotional experiences, joy, sorrow, and everything in between. Swords represents the element of air, and its life theme is about thoughts, communications, truth, clarity, and conflict. And the aspect of human experience it represents is the mind and the intellect. Swords govern how we think, speak, reason, and handle challenges. They highlight our beliefs, inner conflict, and mental clarity, reminding us that the mind can liberate or limit us, depending on how we use it. And finally, the fourth suit is Pentacles. And Pentacles is the element of earth. And its life theme is about work, finances, home, health, and stability. So the human aspect Pentacles represent is the body and material world. So Pentacles ground us in the physical realm, our careers, money, well-being, and daily responsibilities. They remind us to create stability, care for ourselves and others, and build a life that reflects on our values. So here's a little way that has helped me summarize the suits. So Wands is like spirit for me. What drives me? Cups is all about heart and about how I feel. Swords is the mind, like what do I think? And Pentacles is all about the body and material things. So what am I building or nurturing? Together, these 4 elements represent being human, the spirit, emotional, thought, and form, showing us that every experience in life is spiritual when we see it through the lens of awareness. You'll notice that each suit has the numbers 1 to 10, and then has some court cards, which are the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. And we'll talk about those separately. But right now we're going to focus on what story is told from 1 to 10 in the tarot decks. Now, for the most part, the cycles are very similar, except for they do break off a little bit. Hopefully this will all make sense to you in the end. So the cups and the pentacles are very similar. And so the cycle from 1 to 10 is very similar. Same theme, but representing the different elements and human experiences. But the wands and the swords slightly veer off from the 3 on. So the ace in any suit always represents new cycles beginning in relation to that aspect of your life. 2s involve making a choice or choosing. And the 3 of Cups and Pentacles both focus on working together with others. But the 3 of Wands and the 3 of Swords focus on the individual instead of the group. The 4s and 5 deal with lower vibrational energies and emotions, where the 6 and 7s break through to hope and possibility. The 8s and 9s involve mastery and efforts paying off. And the 10 of both Cups and Pentacles represent the completion of a cycle of love and abundance, while the 10 of Swords and Wands don't end as happily, typically representing burden. So the cycles follow a natural flow of life with ups and downs that lead to growth. So we are going to take a look at each card in the cycle from 1 to 10 in each suit. So let's do that now. Okay, we're going to start off with the suit of the Wands. And Wands, again, is about creativity, passion, inspiration, action, right? It represents your motivation, purpose, and drive. So what moves you? And it often appears when you're being guided to act, pursue a goal, or trust in your instincts to take bold steps forward. So, beginning with the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is about a new burst of inspiration. So the spark or the idea or the purpose, right? So it's the beginning of, it's like this new inspiration coming. 2, 3, and 4 are all about planning, decision-making, and taking those first steps towards growth, right? 5, 6, and 7 are about facing challenges, completion, and learning resiliency, right? So I get the 5 of Swords a lot, which is about deception, competition, disagreement, and like that tension, that struggle within. Generally for me, it's within. So again, 5 to 7 in Wands is all about facing challenges, completion, and learning resiliency. 8, 9, and 10 are all about momentum building, right? Things are moving quickly, leading to both success and responsibility. That's it for the Wands. Moving on to Cups, which again is about emotions, relationships, love, healing. The Cups represent your heart and emotional self, and they flow through love, compassion, empathy, and connection. So it's about how we connect, how we give, and how we receive. So the Ace of Cups is about opening your heart to new love, emotional healing, or spiritual renewal. And then you got 2, 3, and 4, which is about building emotional connections, partnership, collaboration, and self-love. Then we have 5, 6, and 7, and they are all about emotional loss, disappointment, or confusion. So learning emotional wisdom. And then you have 8 and 9, which is about walking away from what no longer serves you and finding fulfillment in emotional wholeness. And finally, we come to 10, which a lot of people feel is the holy grail, because 10 is all about harmony, happiness, and emotional completion. It's essentially the rainbow after the storm. And I hear a lot it being that the 10 of Cups is like that ultimate emotional fulfillment. All right, let's move on to the next swords. Swords are all about those thoughts, truth, communication, clarity, and challenges. So swords represent the mind, how we think, speak, and make sense of the world. These cards often show both conflict and insight because the mind can be both our greatest ally and our toughest teacher. I know that firsthand. All right, so the Ace of Swords is all about having that moment of clarity where truth or a powerful new idea comes. 2, 3, and 4 is about decision making, mental balance, and seeking peace of mind. The 4 is also about resting. That I know for sure because that's the message I get from the 4 a lot, right? So it's about giving yourself that mental space to just allow your mind to settle and get clear and make the decisions and bring that mental clarity you're seeking. Okay, 5, 6, and 7. As I tell you, I get the 5 a lot. It's about conflict, ego, and lessons in communication and integrity. And then 8 and 9 is about feeling overwhelmed, breaking free from limiting beliefs, release and renewal. Right? See how she's bound here? And the 10 of Swords is about endings, releasing of old stories, and the dawn of new understanding. So essentially, like, the worst has happened here, right? All the swords are in this person's back. It can't get much worse than this. So now what happens is the release happens and you step into renewal. Okay, and last but certainly not least, we've got Pentacles, which is all about career, finance, home, health, stability, and material goods. It represents the physical world. So your work, resources, body, your sense of grounded security. And these are the cards that remind us that spiritual growth is also about building a solid, sustainable foundation. So the Ace of Pentacles is all about a seed of opportunity. Normally represents something like a new job, a financial blessing, or material potential. 2 to 4 is about managing resources and balancing and creating stability. 5, 6, and 7 is all about hard work, patience, lessons in scarcity, and preservation. So I love the 7 of Pentacles because the 7 of Pentacles is here waiting for his harvest to come in. This is all that he has planted and worked towards, and he's now just waiting on the harvest to come in. Okay, 8 and 9 is about mastery, skill, and abundance, long-term security, and legacy. And finally, the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is about generational wealth, family support, and fulfillment in the material realm. So again, just like the 10 of Cups, it's one of the cards that most people, when they see it, feel like it's a good omen and it's sending them good information because, again, it's talking about receiving the bounty, right? That in the 7 of Pentacles, he was waiting on to finish. All right, each suit also has its court cards. So that's your page, your knight, your queen, and your king of each suit. Generally, the page is about youthfulness, innocence, and your inner child. The knight generally represents the frantic, impulsive energy of your teen and early adulthoods. The queen and king represent adulthood, but the queen is the maternal energy, so your feminine energy, your energy for which you care for others in your life. And the king represents more of that paternal, the need to lead and protect those that you care. So occasionally court cards are more literal and represent a person in your life. So if you ever turn over a court card, for example, a king, and somebody pops into your head, so you turn over a king and your dad pops into your mind, generally the message is related to him specifically. And the court cards, instead of focusing on reflecting life cycles, the court cards usually represent your mindset. Okay, so we're going to break down each court card in their suit, starting with Wands again. So the Page of Wands is about curiosity, youthful excitement, and exploring creative paths. The Knight of Wands is passion and motion, adventure, boldness, and oftentimes reflects impulsivity. Like, he's ready to go. He's got the idea. He feels the passion. He jumps on the horse and off he goes. So sometimes it's reminding you to step back and make a plan. The Queen of Wands is all about confidence, charisma, and magnetism. The Queen is the embodiment of empowered creativity. And the Knight of Wands is a visionary, a leader, and puts action with purpose, and inspirational for others. Okay, moving on to the Page of Cups, again, which is about emotions. So the Page of Cups is like about innocence, emotional openness, creativity, and the dreamer. So it's encouraging you to like be innocent, go into that creativity, be the dreamer. The Knight of Cups is about is the romantic and idealist, following one's heart, sometimes to excess. So again, the Knights are a little impulsive. They seem to rush into things. So it could be a little bit of a caution to pump the brakes a little bit. The Queen of Cups is about deep empathy, emotional balance, intuition, and nurturing love. Again, this is the card of the entire tarot deck that I feel represents me the most, right? So it's all about nurturing and balance, and having deep love and empathy and being tapped into your intuition. And the King of Cups is about emotional mastery, compassion with boundaries. The King is wise and has a steady heart. Moving along to the Swords, which again is about our mind. So the Page of Swords is about curiosity, new perspective, and mental exploration. So again, that curiosity, that allowing yourself to explore, but we're talking in the mind. The Knight of Swords is about swift action, strong opinions, and bold communication. And again, sometimes he rushes in too quickly, right? So it could be a caution to just, give yourself a little bit of room to think before you act. The Queen of Swords is all about being the truth teller, intellectual clarity, discernment with compassion. And the King of Swords is about logic, wisdom, fairness, and leading through truth and integrity. Okay, and again, finally, last but not least, is that how the phrase goes? The Pentacles. So we're talking about the court cards of the Pentacles. And again, Pentacles is about your physical world, career, finance, stability, health. So the Page of Pentacles is like that student that's eager to learn and build a foundation, right? So again, that innocence, like that, I'm ready to learn. I want to know. I want to explore. The Knight of Pentacles is about reliability, dedication, hard work, and steady progress. The Queen of Pentacles is about nurturing abundance, resourcefulness, balance between home and career. So she's figured out how to balance both home and her role. And the King of Pentacles is about mastery of the material, leadership, prosperity grounded in generosity. Okay, so hopefully that all made sense. And as we wrap up today's lesson on the Minor Arcana, I'm going to encourage you, as myself, let's take a deep breath and let all this wisdom settle in. The 56 cards of the Minor Arcana is where spirit meets us in our daily life. They're the mirrors of our human experience, the ways we think, feel, act, and build. Through the 4 suits, we explored the full range of life, right? Wands is the spark of fire that drives creation and passion. Cups is the gentle flow of water that connects us to our heart and emotions. Swords is the clarity of air that shapes our thought and communication. And Pentacles are the grounding earth that anchor us in home, work, and stability. Each suit reminds us that every action, emotion, and thought has meaning, and that our daily experiences are spiritual lessons in motions. We then looked at the cycles of each suit, from Ace to 10, so the story of growth, challenge, and completion. Remember, every Ace is a new beginning. Every 10 is a transformation, an ending that leads to renewal. And together they show us that life moves in cycles. We are constantly evolving through each phase. And finally, we talked about the court cards, the pages, the knights, the queens, and the kings, who bring personality and perspective to our readings. They're the characters of our stories. The page is inviting curiosity and learning. The knights embody movement and motivation. The queens bring inner mastery, intuition, and grace, while the kings lead with wisdom, stability, and purpose. These cards remind us that we carry all the energy within us, and at any time we can be the student, the seeker, the nurturer, and the leader. Okay, so we have now discussed through the first video and this video that the Major Arcana will show us our life's big lessons, the whys of our journey. And the Minor Arcana will show us how those lessons unfold in everyday life, the how we live, love, think, and grow. When you read tarot, you're reading the story of life itself, the dance between spirit and human experience. So as you continue your journey, pay attention to how these energies show up for you in the world. Notice your patterns, your choices, your emotions, and your inspirations, because they're all messages from spirit waiting to be understood. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Again, I am going to be doing a few more educational videos regarding tarot, giving you that information that I've learned on my research, but I'm not necessarily going to be doing any more tarot readings because I figure that gets boring if you watch me pull my tarot cards each day. But I will still occasionally from time to time do that and add that to my series because now I'm off exploring some other wonderful things. So stay tuned. And if you are interested, I am now working on 3 different branches of this Come Grow Spiritually series. It's going to be crystals, dream work, and goddesses and archangels. All right, friends, thank you so much. I hope I delivered this information because it's a lot of information. I hope I delivered it in a format that was easy to understand. Again, I script everything out so that I don't go off track and start rambling because I can do that quite easily. So hopefully it looks great on my notes and what I've scripted together. It looks very concise and easy to follow here, but I don't know if I conveyed that in that way. For those of you that are interested, I am in the midst of building a tarot course for beginners. So all this information that I have scripted and made videos on is now being uploaded into a course that you can view on School for free. So if you're interested in that, I will post the link to the School community. It's not quite up right this moment. So if you're watching this in the next couple days as it's been released, it's not quite ready yet, but it will be in the next couple weeks. So if it's something you're interested in, go ahead and save the link and come back and check it out in a couple weeks. All this information will be there through video learning and also in written context so that you have it, you can copy and paste it. Once you're into the program, which is completely free, you have complete access to it for as long as the School community is up and running. I believe that it will continue to stay running, but I can't make any guarantees. I don't know what next year is going to bring, if that makes sense. But you will continue to have access to it, and it can be a really good resource to be able to come back and look at the information and help you understand something a little bit in more depth. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a very blessed day, friends.